Welcome to LR Virtual Classroom. As we saw about how to get the data in Power BI, what are the three different storage modes and what are the common data import errors that you get and how to solve it in the previous sections. In this section, we're going to talk about how to fix the performance issues in Power BI. Why were we talking about performance? Yes, you might have a dashboard which is very attractive with lot many visualizations, but as a end user, if the charts are taking more time to refresh and I'm taking more time to refresh my data source, then I have a performance issues in my dashboard. These are the topics which we are going to see today in this section. Power BI has an inbuilt performance analyzer tool which will help you to analyze the problems and fix the issues. The first one is targeting the performance at the data source itself by a technique called query folding. What is query folding? It is a process by which your transformations and edits that you make at the Power Query editor all are combined together as a native queries or a simple selects SQL statement while you are making the transformations. We'll more understand about the query folding in the future slides. The second important thing is while you're trying to import and prepare and clean up your data, you have a query diagnostic tool which will tell you how fast is your performance that you have in your each and every step that you do. In this way, you can find the error where you have your issues and rectify it. Let's understand the benefits to query folding. Yes, the main benefits is you're going to have more efficiency by having a data refresh happening very faster. So, for example, you're trying to establish a connection by using a direct query to a SQL Server database, right? You can use a single SQL statement where you can pull up a table and also you can filter the data. In this way, all your transformations that you are trying to do in your data is passed as a single command to the database which can pull up your data that you want. You need to understand the native database query, which is nothing but the simple SQL code that you write that you provide to the database to perform certain function. Say example here, I have three use cases. First, I am trying to connect to a table called transaction by applying a filter department is not equal to 150. The second case, I can write the similar by using a simple selects SQL statement here by seeing this transactions table with a department not equal to 150. This is called as a native database query. This can be applied when you are trying to pull a SQL database. You can give the server name and database name, but SQL statement is completely optional. The moment you are trying to establish all these transformations, automatically query folding will occur. The third important case is you can pull up the data the table from the database. A specific table that you are looking for, you can pull up by using the select statement and you can use a Power Query to apply the filter for you to pull up a department which is not equal to 150. Out of these three cases, the first one gives very good performance for you with less refresh data. Second one also gives you a refresh time is less, provided you not frequently changing your SQL query. That is a big disadvantage you have with the query folding technique, because every time you run the change or run the SQL query, every query is going to be seen as a new one. So it's sometimes you have performance issues in this. So it is advisable that to perform all your transformations at the original data source itself. How to enable and disable the native database query. Whenever establishing a native database query by using a select statement, sometimes you get a error or a pop-up menu which says you need to have an approval. In that case, you go to the settings menu. Under the global option, you have a security where you can uncheck or check mark require user approval. In this case, you don't have any issues in connecting to the database and automatically the result data will be returned to the Power Query editor where you can perform many more transformations. There are certain places where native query will not work. What are those transformations are? For example, adding an index column, or when you're trying to merge and append a column, or changing the data type of a column, or running some complex DAX functions, you cannot have a native queries run behind your transformation. It will be disabled, as you can see in the screen. As we saw about the query folding, let's talk about query diagnostics. Yes, when each and every query step that you perform, Power BI will tell you what is the time taken to perform each and every step. If the time taken is more, then you can drill through the data, find out why it is taking more time for you to perform that step, which will help you being like a starting point for your investigation, which will further help in your performance. When you go to the transform data, under the tools menu, you have diagnostic step and start diagnostics and stop diagnostic. There are two ways how you can do your diagnostic. First, as you can see on my right, I have performed lot of queries here by adding an index number, changing the type, splitting the column, formatizing the capitalization, and inserting the merged column. Lot of transformations and queries I have done here. So before doing all these transformations, I can click on start diagnostic and start doing all this step one by one. The moment I click on stop, automatically the diagnostic step will be enabled. For example, here I'm going to have an insert merged column. I'm going to see what is the time it takes to perform this particular step alone. As you can see, only for this particular inserted merged column, it tells me what is the time it takes for me, but I can see in the exclusive duration. So it takes these many of seconds for me to perform this particular step. Similarly, I can find for each and every step that I perform altogether by using a start diagnostic and stop diagnostic. From top to bottom, it will tell me how much time it takes. Now let me show you how to do the query settings. I'm going to go here and tools menu. I'm going to start the diagnostics and I'm going to refresh my data. Once I refresh all the data, I'm going to go to tools. I'm going to stop my diagnostics. Automatically, the steps that has been taken is being displayed here. This is like a diagnostic detail step. It shows me how much of time I have taken in my database for perform each and every step. I can convert this into seconds, so it tells me which step takes more amount of time. It will help me like a starting point for my investigation. This is for performing your diagnostics for all the steps that you have done in your database query editor. The other techniques to optimize your performance apart from query folding and diagnostics is process as much as data in your original data source itself. Power Query and Power Query Editor, having each and every step done there, it's going to lower your performance. So ensure that you reduce your transformation step in the Power Query Editor. You can use native SQL queries when you are trying to establish a direct query to your SQL database. But ensure that you are not pulling the data from CTE, is called as a common table expressions. Carefully use your native SQL queries when trying to establish a database connection. Last point is when you have a date and time bound together. Say for example here I have a date column which has both date and time format. You can split this both date and time format so that it's going to reduce the query step. The small approach that you have in your Power Query Editor is going to increase the performance of your dashboard altogether. In the upcoming section, we are going to talk more about how to clean and transform your data, how to profile your data and combine multiple tables into a single table, and learn more about the fact tables, dimension tables, how to create a common date table. Stay tuned for many more sections.